Should you buy the Sony A7 III in 2021? You see, recently I was actually thinking about this very same question. I was debating if I should switch boats and finally leave Sony. But what I ended up doing was I bought a second A7 III. Now stay tuned to hear all about it. You see, I got stuck in this mindset where I was thinking that the A7 III sucks. It's not good for photo, it's not good for video, especially when you compare these to the full-fledged photography or videography cameras. Especially when you look at a Nikon D850 coming in at 45 megapixels, the resolution is insane. And the Sony A7 III only really has 24 megapixels. When it comes to video, A7 IIIs only shoot at 8-bit, and that has now become the most annoying thing when I go to color grade my footage. But the more I thought about this, the more I realized that I didn't buy Sony to shoot pro photography and print it at huge size. I didn't get it for the huge megapixel count. I didn't get it for the amazing 10-bit 422 video profiles that it has. I got the A7 III because it was, and it still might be, the best hybrid system out there. Now in terms of the pixels, I don't really need that many pixels as most of my work lives online. I don't need to throw huge crops onto my images as I don't usually do that. And in regards to video, I felt like I was starting to sound like every other person on YouTube that blames their gear for the product that they are creating. I get a ton of people commenting that they can't produce this or can't produce that because they need certain camera or certain lens. And yes, there is truth to some of that, but I've realized I need to just master the system that I have for when I move on to the next professional cinema camera. I know exactly how to do it and can perfect my skills even better because I've worked with this, lagging system that needed to be 100% perfect for me to get great colors, great depth, great photos and videos. Now, I didn't make this video to lecture you guys on what I thought about creating content or even saying that the A7 III is really a bad camera, because it really is not. It just seems that technology keeps getting pushed so much further every single year or so that we keep getting in this rut where we think our cameras aren't good enough. There's people that haven't even moved into the mirrorless system, yet they are shooting professionally. And that was my biggest breakthrough that really made me see my gear is more than enough. Now, the reason for why I bought a second camera is since I'm shooting professionally, I'm getting paid for my work. I had this one incident where my SD card was not fitting into my A7 III, and it seems that they have been chipping away and little pieces have gotten stuck in the reader, and I was blaming my A7 III for this, but later I realized that it was this freaking cheap thing. And I recommended this last Christmas. Do not buy this freaking card holder from Amazon, the cheap one. It is so hard. Inside, you actually pop the SD cards in here, and I think that was what's breaking my cards. I saw the real Pelican legit hard case that my friend has, and it's squishy inside there. It doesn't break your SD cards like this thing does. So do not buy the cheap Amazon hard cases. I learned my lesson. Now, what this caused was I'm mid-shoot preparing everything, and I cannot put a memory card in my freaking A7 III. So I am sweating. I had an A64, that was my backup. I knew I could get it done, but still I wanted it on the A7 III. So for me, that was a huge plus that I need a backup camera. Now, I got booked for a couple weddings, and I wanted to have both cameras rolling with me since I find it easier when you have both lenses ready to go. So I wanted two cameras to go. So again, I needed a second A7 III. In terms for video, having two A7 IIIs and one A6400 that all of them shoot on the same picture profiles makes my workflow so much easier, where I can just drop two cameras there and get two angles. Now I have more variety for my editing, and it makes the workflow so much easier. Now I'm gonna interrupt for a little bit, and if you've learned anything so far, make sure you like this video. It really helps out the channel, and I truly appreciate it, guys. Now, I still think this is a great system for both photo and video, and that is the biggest argument where it comes down to you can either get a camera that's great for video or great for photography, but it's kind of hard to find that middle ground, even with the newest cameras, since they are amazing at video, but their pixel count is so low that it would be kind of hard to start using that as a professional photographer photography camera. When it comes to photography, the A7 III with its dual card slot, IAF, and just amazing focusing systems in this really makes it push the limit with whatever else is out there. It really changes the game with the price point and everything coming from the A7 III. When it comes to video, having the option for 4K, 120 frames per second, having picture profiles in the system, having zebras, focus peaking, and having in-body stabilization really makes the workflow much easier. Although I really wish we had 10-bit, because I feel like I would have more info to edit with when it comes to post-production. Now, I do eventually want to get a cinema camera, whether it is within the Sony ecosystem, maybe an FS system, or potentially jumping into a Blackmagic camera. I really want to have more information in my videos to where I can edit a lot more. And the A7 III, that's where it kind of lags it a bit. You have to really get it perfect while you're filming. If not, you're gonna get zero colors out of your highlights. Your blacks are gonna be blown out, or it can just be a mess if you don't shoot it right in camera. And part of that, I feel like it's good, because if you can learn to master an A7 III, whenever you pick up any other cinema camera, you're just gonna be making amazing work. As of now, I'm really just gonna work on my portfolio and create the things that I want to create. I really need to master the A7 III before I can really say it can't help me out anymore. So far, I've done a lot of work with this camera. It's paid me tenfold easily, and I really think it's still a great system. I wouldn't have bought a second one if I really didn't think it was a great camera. So what do you think? Is the Sony A7 III still a great camera in 2021? I'd love to hear your thoughts, guys. Let me know if you guys have any questions or so. Drop them down below, and don't forget to like this video, subscribe for future content, and I'll see you guys on the next video.